crowd some members who are from the Montfort Youth Training Centre, and that's how we get the acronym MYTC, Montfort Youth Training Centre. Yeah. So I'm very happy because any questions that you have after this, which I don't feel like answering, I can always divert it to them. So the management is here and the board of directors are here. And in fact, we have very good news for Sabah. And one of them is that the fact that we want to revive a training program, skill training program that we had many years ago for girls. Because when you talk about MYTC, it's always seen as for boys. Yeah? Now we are in a generation that we work towards gender diversity, inclusivity. I think that is coming. Yeah? So the spearhead, the mother superior is also here. Yeah, Julia is here. So after this, we can have a good interaction and talk about it. Okay. Yes, as what Win has said, I'm not sure if all of you know that I'm a very ever since I retired last year. So my quest right now is to look back at my life history. I spent 30 years or so in oil palm. So there's so much stories there, somewhere up there in the head. And I thought it's good to try and put it together and share. Yeah? So over the last 4 months, I have come out to be almost 40 articles in Borneo Post. So yeah, so you can see that on every Sunday and also on Monday. Yeah. So I've covered oil palm. I also covered my life journey. And over the course of the 40 articles, one of them was on Montfort. Yeah, and I think that's how Win saw it. Yeah, and I think that's why we are all here today. Yeah. So let's start. Okay. As Win has said, we are to say we are very old. We are not old. Depends on what is old for you. Yeah. But we are also not new because we have been in Sabah for 25 years. So 1999 to 2024, and last year we celebrated our silver jubilee. Yeah, and I believe going forward it's going to be challenging, but at the same time there are a lot of untapped potential in Sabah, especially, or you want to cover both Sabah and Sarawak. Yeah, and I think this is what we want to offer. And by sharing with you this evening, I'm glad that the Montfort team is here because it helps us also to reflect and have a discernment. Where is our mission and vision? But for those of you who are new here, it's also trying to ask you all to see, can you play a role to help us to promote this mission of ours here? Yeah. That was the article I wrote, and I have this habit of trying to get a full page of Borneo Post. No? So it's 2,500 words, and yeah, so it's full spread. So this Sunday I'll be having a very interesting article, which will be, because this weekend will be Hari Raya. So this weekend's article is the story of palm oil for Hari Raya. Okay, and you have a look at it. Yeah. And Monday, I'll be having another story, and that's how we're going to be looking at food as well, because Hari Raya, lots of festivity and ketupat and so on. It's a question of, is palm oil better or the seed oil better? Yeah, so get ready to buy and support Borneo Post. Yeah, it's all done on pro bono basis. They don't pay me a single cent. So I'm doing it because I think it's sharing my information and knowledge I have. Yeah, and we also have an article in Malay. And this is one of the things that we realized in our quest of our mission. All of us here are probably very articulative in English. But we must know that in this state, there are a lot of people who may not be fluent in English. So we have to reach out in their language, even when we want to promote this mission of ours. So the likes of Bahasa Malaysia and also Kadazan are the languages that we need to use. Or else I have this phenomenon called shock sendiri. You have full page there, wow, happy, I've come out, I talk, and so on. Your language is not reaching the core of people. So it's important. So Borneo was kind enough to have an article on Montfort as well. There is a misnomer, because a lot of people may have heard of Montfort, okay, because Montfort in Sabah is not new. It started actually in Shah Alam, okay, and before that in other countries as well. And they always think that because it started in Shah Alam for delinquent students, so-called naughty students, yeah, same, therefore, when we do it in Sabah, it's also for delinquent students. Yes, they are one aspect of the students. But more than that, we reach out to orphans, youths from single parents, youths from big families. It's not easy to raise children with the numbers that you have. We also talk about school dropouts. even Form 3 or even Form 5, PT3 and PT5. Yeah, rehabilitated youths as well. And we also have students that if they are mild autism, right, we also try and accept them as well. So it's quite a big catch rather than just naughty student. You know, one of the things that Julia and I do is that we also go down to a kampong. Yeah, and in one kampong in Apin, we were talking to parents about Montfort. And the first thing the mother will answer is, anak saya tak nakal. Why should you want to join you? Anak saya tak nakal. So the perception down on the ground, akal umbi adalah bahawa Montfort ini ada untuk kanak-kanak atau lelaki belia yang nakal. That is actually wrong. Yeah. So we want to try and say that it's quite a well spread catch that we want to offer to the youths in Sabah. Of course, a little bit of history, and the founder is none other than Saint Louis Maria de Montfort. All right, and this goes back not only in the 1900s, it goes back to the 1700s. Okay, and his focus in one of his mission is on education. Yeah, and if we look at it today, he was the founder for Montfort Brothers of Saint Gabriel, which is why they are also known as the Gabrielites. Yeah, and this is in the 18th century. The mission, as I said, is focused just on education. And of course, when we talk about education, it's a very broad, very macro perspective. Skill training is one fundamental aspect of education. Character formation is another aspect there, and the list goes on. Yeah, and here they have been operating, or they are still operating, in over the 5 continents and in 35 countries in the world. In Southeast Asia, they are in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Myanmar, in the Philippines. Of course, if you want to put it, Sabah is one aspect that they are covering, and in Thailand as well. Okay. These are basically the charter. Now, when we have any mission, we are guided by some principles, guided by some guidance, some mottos, and so on. So the mantra for the Montfortian is that the education that we want to do must be inclusive, must be participatory, it's innovative and creativity, it's done to the best interests of the youth, it's partnership. Again, this is a lesson learned in NGOs reaching out to the private sector, or else we may also have another shock syndrome. We think we are training the youths, but that's not what the market wants. Right? So that partnership is important, that we meet the market or the marketplace requirement. So that's important. And so on. So that is our charter here. And we are always guided by the fundamental principle that, yes, if any youths are in needs, we can give them money, scholarship, and so on. It's like giving a fish. But that will only feed the person for that 1 year, that day, and so on. So what's important is for the longer-term sustainability of the youth, it is to try to teach the youth how to fish. Yeah, I think all of us agree that is the fundamental thing. If you have seen my article in Borneo Post, one of my contemplations of today is that the youths of today, you look at the Gen Ys and Zs or so on, the resilient factor is really gone. The resilient, and sometimes we ourselves, parents, have to take the blame. Yeah, or maybe we think that we were much better than them. But the fact is that if you were to look your friends and so on, the youths of today are totally into a different era when if you do an intergenerational shift of the X, Y, and Z, looking at what they are doing right now, this factor resilient, this factor grit, G-R-I-T, are very lacking. Yeah. So here, we also say that there are 5 dimensions, because later I'll share with you, it's not the skill training. Kita boleh latih belia, okay? Kemahiran-kemahiran di situ. Tapi kalau mereka tidak ada daya character formation yang merangkumi intellectual, physical, social, emotional, and spiritual, it is also not good. He can be the best mechanic, but he can be lousy in integrity. It defeats the whole purpose. So that's what I meant by education is just not skill. Education is just not language or just learning a subject matter. It is a wholesome, holistic education that has to be embedded in the development of the youth. Yeah? And we believe that probably, as I share with you, you can see that Montfort probably has a formula there. Okay? And that formula is not static. It will need to be changed in time. But it is there. Yeah? Located in Kina Road, and I'm sure most of you maybe know it, in Kina Road. You may have traveled along that road many times. That Mahathir was saying us now, and said, don't know lah, there's a building there lah. If they have a chance, all pass through only, yeah. You may see a chapel there, and you may see, let's say, welcome. We welcome you to link up with us. Visit. The Malay kata, kalau tak kenal maka tak cinta. Kalau tak tahu apa itu MYTC, how are you going to help to promote and know what we are doing? Right? So singgahlah. So kita boleh beramah, bermesra di situ. Yeah. We started in 1999 in Dongong campus, quite close to the roundabout. Yeah. Now the Siga has been moved, so we are around there in 1999. This was our first batch of training. And yes, at that time, we also started a program for the girls. Yeah. But then we had to stop it. Now we are trying to bring a revival to the girls program. And these are some of the youths that we have trained over the years. Yeah. As I said, next, I thought maybe that will be one good discussion. Maybe Julia may just want to tap in to share a little bit on the TVET for the girls. Yeah. But I missed out something. I think many people do not know that other than the technical training that we have in Kina Road, we do have two hostels. Two hostels for school children, Form 1 to Form 5, yeah, who are from the rural area, but they come to Sandakan and Kulu, yeah. And it's like, they stay there, they have their tuitions there, they go to school there. Yeah, so these are the other two other little extended mission that we have under Montfort. Yeah. So these are the, I call it 5, but later I'll see we have already shrink it to 4 to consolidate the training program. So in 1999, when it started, it was on motor mechanics. Yeah, cars are basically what they're looking into. We moved in 2000, where we have both here refrigeration and air condition. Yeah, coming along with it on the same year was welding. Yeah, and in 2001 we added carpentry, furniture making. So these were the 4 core subjects that we have for skill training. And in 2019, we started with the oil pump course as well. And this was a bit different journey because this was done working with the private sector. We were looking at in the interest of oil pump industry in Sabah. Sabah was the largest then, now second after Sarawak, and they need the local people to fulfill the needs there. So that's how we started the conductorship program. By the way, conductorship is not the conductor for the orchestra and so on. It's just a staff level. You have what's called the staff and management. So this is a staff level more for supervision, yeah, of the estate operations here. So what we've done is that in just last year, was it, or 2 years ago, Fred? Last year, so we combined both refrigeration and carpentry. And now we have what's called facilities maintenance and carpentry. I can tell you, any boys who come up from there, any hotels or any of the facilities, these are your handymen. These are people, jack of all trades, that they can cover. Refrigeration, well, and some of them, they also will be learning other courses as well. The oil pump, we also, we also included welding and also mechanical inside there. Yeah. But as I said, it's not the skills to learn. And the skills, of course, for the first 4 are linked to SKM, Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia, which is accredited by the authorities. But other than that, which is equally, or rather I use the word more important in life for the youth of today, is character formation. Okay? I mean, sad to say, a lot of these boys are already marginalized, are already different. Maybe they don't have maybe like what a lot of people have, a lot of opportunities that many of us have. Okay, they can be coming from poverty, they can be coming from a big family, they will probably have witnessed their mom or their dad been divorced or dead and so on. So they've gone through that hurt, they've gone through that experience. So they're coming broken, right? So you need to manage that brokenness in their journey here. So character formation is already there. They may have also have gone to, you will read one of my story that my epiphany in my life. I come from a family with 2 younger brothers there and so on. And parents were sleeping. I can hear the conversation that they're telling me, hey, I don't know how to raise our children here. They're smart and so on. And there was my epiphany was about 11, 12 years old. That Since Form 5 there on, I did not rely on a single cent from my parents. I look into the hardship, then that's where you get that motivation there. So here coming for them is to find that epiphany for them, to create that space of epiphany for them. And here is where we are talking about character formation. And again, skills of today. Sad to say, I was a CEO of IGM Plantation. My ex-colleague is also here. And I've done a lot of interviews of students to join me, to become assistant managers and so on. And it's so sad to have that realization, university students graduating today, coming for interview. And sometimes as a CEO also, I join the interview. And which I've written also in what I said. Now, ask them, you want to join us, IJM, good, where you come from, and all these things, and so on. Number one, they can't even speak English. Boleh tak, Tuan, kita cakap dalam bahasa Malaysia? Saya kata, no problem, boleh. Tapi, sudah graduate tak tahu bahasa English. Sikit-sikit lah. Sikit-sikit. Number two, they ask, kerja di estate, di situ, dua perkara kami mau tanya. I want to ask, in estate work with you, ada wifi kah? Ada wifi kah di estate? So I asked my Alex here, Sugod got wifi or not? That time don't have lah, now got lah. They say, ada wifi kah? Number dua, Saturday, Sunday boleh kerja kah? Mesti kerja kah? Weekends do they need to work? So I say, pokok kelapa sawit itu ada hidup atau mati masa weekend itu? Do they need to work on weekends? No? Now, on the phone, to me a lesson here, Alex did just raise a very important thing. They are still asking the same question. Maybe we should be asking the question to ourselves. If we want to accommodate these youths, things have changed. I mean, how can you deprive people from internet services? Yeah, you can't. So this is where change will have to happen. And we have to see how we accommodate this on a very staged approach, on a phased approach, the changes that we have. Or else, seperti bahasa Melayu, ketinggalan zaman. Right? So we have to. So these are actually, the question is for them and for us as well. And I think the other thing is that other than the skill training, the youths, this is to me the most wonderful story I have seen with my eyes. I'm sure my boards and other members have seen it. They're also been given general studies. And there are three aspects here: English, mathematics, and basic computing. Okay? And I tell you the wonderful stories I've seen with my own eyes. A boy entering with zero English. Only can yes, no. Or only berani. Macam ini saya. Okay? Only that only. After 2 years, they can stand on a stage and deliver a speech in English. In English. That is the transformation story, which I deem as from zero to hero. Yeah? We have captured this during our graduation days and so on. Fantastic. Yeah? That is the kind of transformation that they have. So here we have what's Jolly Phoenix. In fact, Andy is here. Andy teaches Jolly Phoenix to the boys there. Yeah? And covering leadership, covering character formation. Later I'll show you some pictures. You will be seeing how I wish I was there, or how I wish my son or my family would have somebody gone through the experience, because you come out there different. Yeah. So these are, I won't go through this one. These are 4 aspects. No? They cover sports and recreation. They cover domestic science. The boys literally have to help out in the kitchen. They help out kitchen, they wash the plates and so on. When my son went there for a weekend to help out there, he had a friend accompany him. And you know what he tell my son? This is the first time in his life washing plate. How many of our children today wash plate? Yeah? And that one also salah buat. Had to be washed again by the other Montfort boy. Hey, washing plate pun ada technique one lah. Okay lah. So, these are the real life. To me, actually, I don't need intelligence and degrees and papers. No. I wish my children, I wish all our children have that living skill, that resilience, which is lacking today. Yeah. So enrichment programs, you can see a lot of activities later in pictures, and leadership. The boys will come, and among them, they elect who are their prefects. And that prefects are the people that, in a way, they will be groomed in a way that leaders there. Yeah. So this is some of the routines, living day in, day out, daily, monthly, and so on. They have their roll call, a very same feature in estates. No? In the morning when you work, the roll call is there, and the master. Yeah, they have their sports day, they have the exercise, they have the team building as well. All these aspects are covered there. Yeah. Then you can see how they also help out with the cooking, as I said. There's one habit of mine. I visit many plantations. I visit many estates or the palm oil mill. The first place I always visit is the toilet. Because the toilet will tell you whether the whole system is in place or not. Yeah? So I'll visit toilet. And that's why I do even going Montfort there and looking at their double-decker bed, how clean and so on. The next thing you can see if you go there, all the shoes are arranged properly, systematically, not the champa, yeah, the sepa. No, there is a decorum in how you do that. Yeah. So they have their camps. This is one of the best time to visit them is always come during lunchtime because you also get free lunch. But it's to seeing the boys how they go through their routine and then after how they help. Yeah. These are the various training, welding, motor mechanics, the refrigeration, the plantations. Recently, the plantations boy, they even learn about drone mapping. So imagine, so you have to change with time. Not AI, IT, and so on. You can't shelve it off. You have to embrace it. Yeah. But how to embrace that is also important here. And of course, at the end of it, it is most important day for them is after 2 years there. You have their graduation. Okay. So I have a few stories to share. Okay. And these are, to me, transformation stories. And actually, one way to look at this story is I will be happy to share this PDF with you, this presentation. Win, please share if anyone asks them. Go to this link there. Their stories are all there. Okay. These are some of the stories. This Richard Onsongit, who's still working in IJM or KLK today. Yeah. Who came from nothing to be something. Yeah. And now is trying to go into more study diplomas and degree as well. Yeah. He went in, he couldn't speak in word of English. That was a transformation. He did very well there. Yeah. These are two boys in Sarawak, which also tells you that we also want to reach out to Sarawakians as well. Okay. It is a Bonion initiative. Yeah. So these two boys from Sarawak are working in an oil palm estate in Lundu, quite close to Kuching. Yeah. This guy is an expert in replanting. No, oil palm then you replant. He's not an expert there. This guy is expert in a nursery and they use drip irrigation. So they become, what I should say, they may be working with the estate, but the talent and the skills that they have is actually within Malaysia, within Sabah, Sarawak. And this is how we have succession of training and so on. Yeah. This is Iviano. He's in Keningau. And this one, Marcelius. And you can see he's wearing a staff shirt here because after being trained there, he came out to work. Now he's back to serve Montfort. So sometimes I think this is very rich now. You come to a stage that you want to go back and help out, right? Of course, yeah, it's earning as well, but it's actually also helping out. You can embrace that as well. And this is Chester's, and he has actually found a calling to move to become in the religious life as well. Yeah. Yeah. So these were the two boys I told you in Sarawak. I just visited that recently. So they are experts right now in replanting and also in plantation. This was Richard Osogate. He sent me his wedding card. Very proud. I'm going to get married. Yeah. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot come. The next one, he said, I already got a daughter. Wow, really? I don't know how many he has right now. Lost count. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's him with brother Gasper there. This was Alex Song. Okay. This boy was doing motor mechanics. After that, he went to Malacca to work. Okay. And he was even sent to China for training to repair tractors and machineries and so on. But he has since left and now he's with the father. I'm not sure whether he's working right now. Yeah. So at one stage, your father was very sick. A very good boy. Had to care for the father. Okay. The father, Francis, is still around, but retired already. Yeah. As I say, from hero to zero. After 2 years, this was last year, right? Was it 2 years last year? Yeah, to give a speech, to share their journey in English. And a lot of the thing they tell is that it was from zero English to an articulative speech to be given. Yeah. And I think there's another thing I skip out just now. There's one very important part. And this is the fact that we got youths, we got training program for them. Sometimes to bring the youths for the training program, the parents are the one who say no. Sayang anak kan? Sayang anak. So, and we have done training and we're saying that, no, I always tell the youths, don't see Sabah as your place that you can cari makan. See the world as a place that you cari makan. The world is so globalized, the world is so small. Our boys who are doing welding are good. They can end up in oil and gas. In fact, there were a few of them in Middle East came back, right, to visit us and so on. Yeah. So when I had a plantation boys, I said, go to work in Peninsula. The boys tells me they are willing to go. Tapi mami, daddy kata tak boleh lah. Apa tak kalau saya sakit nanti susah balik. Yeah. So what we did was we brought the owners to come and talk to their parents. And we sent out a first batch. So here's the lesson is that you cannot change things drastically. You have to take it on a stage and phase approach. You have to monitor it. After first round, now the boys, you know what they do? They will wah-wahkan. Saya punya estate bagus no. Wah, itu rumah besar. Oh, katil cantik-cantik punya. They will tell their friends. They will have their group. Now all the boys want to go Peninsula. I get panic pula. We train them Sabah to for Peninsula. Yeah. You see, this is how transformation happens. It is a phased approach. It's also from word of mouth. They have to be convinced that change, metamorphosis, is something very gradual. Yeah. So here is another aspect I want to highlight is cultural aspect. Yeah. There are many aspects of culture in Sabah itself, for that matter in Sarawak. And this is where the boys, I can tell you, when we send the boys to Peninsula, the owners come back to me and say, they're so talented, these boys. They can sing, they can play their guitar and so on. They're naturally talented. Yeah. So this is another gift that they have. Yeah. Sports leadership, community outreach, not even to clean up the beach or clean up the place up. Yeah. You can see some of this. And this after 2 years, this is the graduation. Over the years that we have gone through, we have about over 2,000 youths which have graduated. And mind you, today, I can attest to you, many trainees are recruited even before their graduation. I can tell you, 2 years you go inside there, unless they want to go back to help their parents and so on, the marketplace has place for them. That's how it is. Yeah. I did share with you the oil palm was something different because it was trying to cater to the needs of the industry, the MYTC private sector's partnership. Okay, and this is very important. You don't want to shock scenery. Yeah. So here is where the board of governors, you can see Dato' Margaret, she's here. She also went to my estate to see, always ask me question, how much do you pay? How much do you pay? I say, yeah, there's a minimum wage, but they also get housing, utility, water free, and so on. What is the scope? What is the scope? Alex, be ready for answering this question. Now minimum wage is 1,007. Okay. In many estates, they also give you motorbike allowances. Water, electricity is free. Yeah. So what you get actually is very net, minus the EPF. And in plantation, when it's good year, you can even get 6 months bonus. Yeah. Or more than that. So it is a good thing. So you have to be very clear. Yeah. To them. And I want to take special acknowledgement of the late Madam Helena Kwan. She was with Montfort before. I always met her. I'll call her Mother Superior. Yeah. But she was a pioneer who kickstart this process with the industry. Yeah. May she rest in peace. Yeah. These were the two places that we mentioned just now, the two hostels in Kulu and also in Sandakan. And these are the boys, Form 1 to Form 5, yeah, where they stay there. Tuitions are given. And mind you, some of them, I think, after the tuition, the thing, how do we evaluate? I mean, are we expecting all these boys to get A's, right? When some of them have a very poor basic. So Success is not measured by getting A's. Success have to start, where were you from? If if he don't even know ABC, if he by the end of the day he know ABC, that is a success. Yeah, so that I think we need to evaluate that. You know, I know when I was doing my SPM. Oh, by the way, I'm a top student. You know? I get 7 A's for SPM, 7 A's for SPM, and we take at the time we call SRP and SPM. Yeah, and so you shock. Hey, how many A's you have? How many A's you have? Little that I know that actually it's very hurting, not knowing that there are people can't even get A's. Yeah, so you're in a different league. It all depends on your foundation. Yeah, so that is a key thing that we need to acknowledge there. Yeah, I think this is one of the questions that we need to ask. Nothing is free. Even to join this talk, also we also charge you money. Yeah, yeah. So currently, from our setup here, yes, because the boys are not charged the money here, but we do encourage a little contribution because I did, as I shared inside my paper, everything is free is taken for granted. Okay, so we always tell them, yeah, whatever you can contribute, even you can contribute 50 ringgit or 100 ringgit a month, yeah, do it. So on average, the students' contribution is about 290, thereabout, yeah. But here what we have is a daily food, residential care, the training, healthcare, medical, administrative, comes out to be 1,900 ringgit, okay, per month, yeah. So minus off their average contribution, then we're coming back to about 1,600, yeah. So 1,600, 1,700 is the current minimum wage. So basically, you need one minimum wage a month to train a boy. Okay? And the cost is not going to be cheap. So I think this is where basically the donors and the benefactors do help to chip in. Yeah. One thing good about Montfort, one of the blessed NGOs or skill training, we still have this privilege of tax deductibility. Although this scarcity, it's not easy to get it renewed and so on. So if anybody were to donate 1,000 ringgit, assuming income tax is 25 ringgit, so you're actually paying 750, you keep the 250 for yourself. Okay? Which is why also quite enticing for donors between donating to one which have tax deductibility, one who doesn't. So this does help. Yeah. So we are blessed on this aspect. Yeah. So I come to the end, and to me, basically, on a personal note, when I look at my life, I'm coming to my 60 soon. I always call, what is life? Hatch, match, and dispatch. Yeah, I actually have a play done many years ago in Sanakan called Hatch, Match, and Dispatch. Hatch when you're born, match when you get married, dispatch when you say goodbye. Hatch, match, and dispatch. Along the way, yes, you go and study, you have your family, you have your children. That is your life. And to me, actually, it's trying to find a purpose. Yeah, trying to find a purpose that at the end of it, we can say we have run a good race, we have fought a good fight. Okay, and I think here we are also giving that opportunity to the youths. This is their second chance for many of these youths here. Yeah. So to me, it's trying to build resilience, providing opportunity and build them the resilience through all these courses and all these character formations and so on. Because it's trying to instill that passion and a perseverance and a purpose driven. I always call it a 3P. If you talk about sustainability in the world, profit, people, planet, I say if we look at sustainability of a person, it's their passion, perseverance, purpose. Do they have a purpose in life? Can they find a purpose there? And all this sums up to grit, Grit. That is what grit is all about. Yeah. And I like to quote what you said, the Latin phrase of Montfort, Montfort gravity is labor omnia vencet, which is work conquers all. Yeah, Latin word. Labia, I don't know whether, I'm not a Latin and so on. And that is the phrase there. The power of hard work. I mean, nowadays everybody wants to become influencer, want to join the gig economy. On the day I was giving a talk in Papa to students about oil pump opportunity, career opportunity. Yeah, and I said, saya boleh jadi taxi driver, Grab, Food Panda, and so on. So I just said, by the way, adik-adik, you will need a motorcycle. Eventually, you will want to have a family. You may want to buy a house. Itu Grab, itu Foodpanda, tak ada itu salary slip, tak boleh dapat loan bah. You know, realize? Yeah, you can get 3,000, 4,000 and so on. You don't have your pay slip from a company, nobody's going to give you any loan. So, motosikal pun tak boleh. Bicycle saya gunalah. Okay lah. Get me? So, people want quick money, there is. But is it sustainable? Huh? Yeah. So bersenang-senang dulu, bersusah-susah kemudian, not the other way around. Yeah. So I end up with saying that, I wish maybe Win, you can organize one specifically for Sabah Society members. Come and visit this one of these days, to see and check the toilet. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that tells you everything. You go to office, that tells you everything as well. Yeah, yeah. So I end up with a poem, which I crafted, and I help with the help of a little bit of a chat GPT as well. Yeah, nowadays that is quite useful, but the message is important. Okay, in Montfort's halls, a second chance for youths once lost, now given a stand. From broken path and shadows dead, they rise again, their dreams to keep. From zero's age, they find their spark, lighting the way through paths so dark. With every skill, with every stride, they turn their hopes to dreams applied. Laboa omnia vincit, work conquers all. In Sabah's heart, they stand tall, orphans, dropouts, the poor, and more. All rise with strength, their spirits soar. Real life, real skills to rise above. Montfort builds with wisdom and love. For underprivileged youths, they build dreams. In Montfort's light, their future gleams. Sorry, haven't finished yet. Yeah, okay. This one a bit stretchy, right? Offering skills courses, remember the 4 skills they take. Along with studies, their hearts awake through gender studies and character formation, part of the education. They shape a bright, true foundation. From zero's place, they rise with grace. No longer lost, they find their pace. In Sabah's heart, these youths become the heroes of a brighter name. Zero to hero there. Through character building, they learn to grow, turning to be citizens with hearts aglow. With purpose and pride, remember the 3 Ps and so on, they take their stand, becoming good Malaysians with a steady hand. A second chance, a path to rise, to touch the stars, to reach the skies. Through Montfort's skills, they learn to see that even from nothing, they can be free. All right. I think basically to end up, help us to promote the Montfort mission. Yeah, Sabah. Yeah, I always tell my friends I'm from Selangor. I say Selangor, Sabah is 9 times bigger than Selangor. Do you know that now? It's a huge, huge place, and there are a lot of youths there. And there's one area that we really need to tackle, even with our brothers and sisters from Salvation Army. Sabah have a lot of youths which are non-documented. You can have one father, one mother, which is a Sabahan, the other spouse, which is not, and they are deprived. And I think depriving education to the youths is a great sin. Yeah. And I suppose these are the materials that we have. And I think just remember, second chance, zero to hero. If there's anything that you need to dream tonight, these are the phrases to remember. And I think with that, yeah, I end my talk. Thank you very much. All right.